What's going on YouTube? This is LA Prepper. We're here for a quick, excuse me, a quick little check-in and to talk about a way that we can support one of the members of our Prepper family who's experienced a loss recently. So yeah, that's what we're doing here today. We're going to talk about whatever we want, as long as we're being respectful of other people. Stream status bad. I think your status is bad. Variable resolution stream at a fast enough rate. How could that even be possible? Well, you're going to have to deal with LA Prepper in low res. Almost as good as LA Prepper in high res. Questionable. I don't know. I don't mind low res LA Prepper. Like pre Y2K LA Prepper. Okay, what am I trying to do here? Trying to... There we go. Info and settings. You know, it's kind of weird. Like it doesn't... The YouTube UI is very interesting. It doesn't always let you know like where you are, or where you want to go. I don't know. I think UIs are all kind of clunky, to be honest. See. Go ahead and grab this link. So if you're just joining us, or if you've been watching from the beginning, someone in our Prepper family, and I'll, you know, be a little discreet about their identity, just for privacy's sake. Someone in our Prepper family lost someone close to them recently, and it's in a very unexpected way, and it's very, very sad. Um, yeah, it's sad. You know, there's not. It's when it's closer to you. You know, either someone, your family, or a friend of a friend, or someone that's a little closer to home, so to speak. I feel like it affects you, you know, more strongly than if it's just some article you read about on the news. So my condolences to our friend. I'm sure you would everyone watching this would offer their condolences too. And if you're able to help in a more financial way, there's a GoFundMe page that I'm going to link here in the description. I can probably talk and type at the same time, but sometimes I like to play it safe. All right, much better. Anyways, so update on myself, what's been going on. I have been working, well, I haven't been working on the boat. I took the boat for a maiden voyage with a new friend of mine, and relatively new, not that new, relatively. And yeah, it was a complete failure. Um, broke a few, I mean, it wasn't a complete failure. I learned a few valuable things. I did get out of the water. Uh, I don't know if I sailed for a small amount of time or not, but the wind was definitely pushing me around. Ended up realize having a few structural issues. The main cross member broke in one spot because the screws that I used were a little small and weren't quite long enough, which wasn't really expected. I thought I was going to have enough bite on them, but I guess just under too much force. The screws didn't break, but they sort of broke out of the wood because they weren't in that far. Anyway, so I don't know if I'm gonna. That's a wooden piece. I don't know if I'm gonna repair that by itself or try to replace it completely with something metal. Maybe aluminum would be kind of nice. I know someone who can weld, so I or he or we can weld something up in that nature. What's up, LS? I have no idea who you are, LS. Let's find out. I wish I had the go-to channel from my live stream, but I don't. It's really lame, and it means it's really hard for me to. You'd think I could just go to YouTube and type in LS and find you in like 5 seconds, and maybe I can. But sometimes it doesn't work like that because there's like 50 other LSs. Like I have a picture here of some kid with a microphone and he's wearing a suit, but I don't think that's you. Let's see. Maybe I can filter channels. And if it matches the picture, so I'm looking for a picture of some grass and stuff. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's so hard. So hard to find people. LS Namo, Christian LS. Yeah, it's going to take me a million years to find your channel. Anyway, I mean, it's not like wait, you have a tractor? No. Like oh no. Oh crap. Oh, you're sub to me. Okay, we'll see if that helps. How do I find my subscribers? Hmm. See, that's what's like so silly about YouTube is I don't subscription. No, not my subscriptions. My subscribers. Why is everything so hard? I don't understand. I really don't. Somewhere like under community or something. I think it's under community. Yes, subscribers. See, but I had to go to Creator Studio to find that. Like, why don't they just put that under one of the main things? I don't know why it's so got to be so hard. Okay, and I can't sort them alphabetically, apparently, which is super convenient. I have no idea why. I can sort by most popular and most recent. How do I know my most popular subscribe? I mean, I don't know. It's not about. I'm sure some of my subscribers. I don't know. What does that even mean? Like most popular subscribers. I guess it means they're the most popular, or does it mean they're the most popular on my channel? So many questions. Okay, looking for LS. I don't have that many subs to look through. I don't think. But anyway, oh wow, hey, lots of stuff going on. What's up, Yorn? What's up, Die Bullfrog? I just sent you a link. Uh-oh. To who? A link to who? I don't know. What's going to happen, Yorn? You send me these random links. Oh, LS. Thank you. Oh, it's a kayak. I thought it was a grass field. You said kayak, but I didn't know you meant like that's what the icon was. Because it's like super, super tiny in the chat window. You're saying the icon is a kayak. Okay. Thank you. I'm here. I'm awake. I promise. I love how like your last, not to pick on your channel, but your last three thumbnails are like pitch black. Like, what am I gonna watch here? Like, is this gonna be a VR completely in the dark? You know, just messing with the LS. Okay, back to the chat. Thank you, Yorin, for the link. Dead Bullfrog, I hope you haven't joined the Borg completely yet. Hello, JD. It's good to have you with us. Uh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. So, anyways, I was until I get more updates from my prepper friends, I'm going to continue the story of the failed boat attempt. You all right there, Die Bullfrog? Anyways, yeah. So the boat was a disaster mostly. Broke the mast face. The mast, you know, I could actually let me see if I can grab it. I don't know how buried it is, but let me see if I can go grab it real quick. So, oh, this thing is covered in sand, like everything from the beach. It's like a micro layer of sand. This poor rudder never stood a chance. Never stood a chance. So this is the rudder that I built. It's fiberglass and foam core. The foam core was much too weak. I think unless I had a lot stronger core like wood or maybe a higher density foam, I think it was destined to break anyways because it's just too small up here. But it ended up breaking at the top. This is where it was connected to the PVC support, which interestingly held it in place. You know, ironically, if I would have just had a length of PVC down the whole thing and then sort of screwed it in a few places, that might have actually been strong enough. But yes, I broke my rudder. I'm gonna have to build a new one, which is not the biggest deal in the world. I think I'll go for a balsa or eighth inch sheet plywood, maybe quarter-inch plywood core. But so yeah, rudder did not have a good day. The second thing that I broke, which is slightly more frustrating because it's a little bit harder to fix or fabricate, is this mast base. It's designed to have a wider support. I had it sort of narrowly supported. I don't know if that was the cause. I think there was just too much force on it. Um, but at any rate, you can kind of see here, there's a blue piece that fits in that on this, and the mast is bending all around. Well, there's a lot of wind and a lot of force, and it ended up breaking. So that is just a little bit annoying. You'll notice it is plastic, and I do have a 3D printer. So I am probably going to try to print a replacement out of some high-strength nylon filament. Um, so that's the update on the boat. Did not work very successfully. I ended up, and because this broke, the mast snapped up, and I was getting pushed around, and it was kind of all bad. So um, lessons learned. Haven't given up completely, but some very complicated fabrication in my future should I decide to try again, which I think I will, but probably on a lake. I think there's a few lakes around here, and it's a little more expensive. It's a little longer drive, but at least the worst that can happen on a lake is you're pushed to the other side of the lake. That's not too bad, you know. So, and the winds are usually not as crazy. Cabrillo Beach, maybe it's just the winds are just too crazy there. I swear. Both times I went was ridiculously windy. So, but what is up with my prepper friends and family? What projects are you working on? What preps are you getting? What goals do you have this year? Prepping related goals or otherwise? Because this isn't supposed to be a 1 hour show, about me. To be honest, I mean it could be, but I don't know if that would be that interesting. This is supposed to be a show about community, about prepping, about supporting our friends and family. There's just a little piece of shit in here. Survival camp. Very cool. And shame on me, I haven't really been watching a lot of my subs recently. I suppose I could been kind of working and sleeping. 650 subs, Yorn. Have you been growing your channel? You sneaky Swede, you. Telling you. Oh my gosh. You've been very busy, Yorn. Heavens. I know, shame on me. I know. I haven't been very active in the YouTubes. I admit it. Um, I haven't been doing a lot of prepper stuff really. I haven't even been really increasing my supplies. I've kind of been saving a lot, and I was thinking today, maybe I need to kind of figure out a level of preps that I want to get just like every time I go to the store every month. I mean, I don't go to the store super regularly, especially because now I have a lot more food that I eat at work. What's up, Dash Out? But it's getting to the point where I need to get more storage for stuff that I want to get. So it's like if I want to get, I could go to the store and buy 30 gallons of water. I don't know where I'm gonna put 30 gallons of water. Just have it stacked up against the wall. I don't know. But for sure, I mean, if there's a power, we don't get water forever. If there's a power outage, there might be a few water towers around here. I think I actually don't know if there's one near me. Probably, but anyways, yeah. If the power goes out long enough, uh, vertical and secondary. Yeah, two nice things to be. If the power goes long enough, we're gonna have water issues, and if people run out of water, they're gonna have issues. In fact, I was talking to a coworker the other day about something prepping related, about how much food they have. I don't know. They were saying something about my headphones are crooked as heck. They were saying something about I don't know, like an apocalypse or what if the power goes. They were saying something like the end of the world situation. I don't know what brought up the comment, but anyways, they were saying something like that, and I was like, I don't want something like that to happen. I don't, I barely have a month or so of food and water, and I was like, how much do you have? And he's like, not a lot. And I'm like, yeah. So why would you want that to happen? Like you're not even ready for it, but you sort of like fantasize about that. Something terrible happening. High water table in LA? I don't know. I don't know. Our water pretty much gets pumped everywhere. I think most places in California we don't. It's not like we have a bunch of reservoirs near us. A wooden spork. You know, making things is important, and I have not been making things recently. I haven't been printing anything. I haven't been crafting anything. I did work on the boat a little bit, but this since I got to do some kind of crazy repair with this mast piece, fabrication wise, that's going to be a little bit. So yeah, I've been kind of, you know, not super busy on that arena. LA is naturally a desert. We could send water wherever we want. It just takes energy and money. We could build pipes all across the country. We could get water from Canada. We could invest more in desalination. There's plenty of water on the planet. It's just we have to make it drinkable. We have to collect it and transport it and make it drinkable, or we have to send people to where there's water. Maybe if the government somehow incentivized people moving to where there was water, we wouldn't have to send water all over the place. But usually it's just assumed that if you live in the city, you can get water and that's the end of it. Nobody really thinks about where the water comes from, except preppers, of course. So that's it. We have some, as far as what our prepper people have been working on, some nice knife stuff, a spork. Yeah, LS, that is kind of true. Um, Sadly, humans do not seem very good at conserving resources. We like to just sort of use everything we have, you know? I mean, we would probably breathe the last breath of oxygen on the planet if given the choice, you know? That's I wonder if anyone's ever argued that eventually there's going to be so many humans we're going to run out of oxygen. If we cut down enough trees, who knows? I mean, plants are essential because they provide they take carbon dioxide that we breathe out and they let out oxygen. So we're kind of have a symbiotic relationship with plants. Sure, there's a certain amount of oxygen in the atmosphere before we humans came along, but the point is, it might be nice to, not destroy free oxygen providing things because we don't pay for it. Mostly humans don't pay for the oxygen that we get from plants. They just do it for free, which is kind of cool. Water for two. So are you saying that 120 liters is enough water for 2 years? That's like, it doesn't seem like a lot of water. Not for 2 years anyway. All right, Dash Out. Maybe I'll come over and check out your stream. Maybe we should all go over and check out Dash Out's stream, right? Not just me. Inspired. What's going on? Yeah. A cache. Oh. Now do a video where you find your cache, where you find your cache blindfolded. No, don't drive your car blindfolded. But 120 liters for 2 years, I mean, that's really not a lot of water if he seriously thinks that's 730 days. So 120 divided by 730, that's only 0.16 liters of water a day. That can't possibly be a 2-year rationing. I would say, at least a few couple liters of water a day. I mean, if you were drinking, if you never washed and never did dishes, maybe a liter a day. But I don't know, maybe half, maybe 3/4 of a liter, half a liter some days. But okay, Die Bullfrog, I'm sorry you're having a bad day, but does it make you feel better to share that with us? Take care of yourself, Uncle Al. Try the brat diet. Bananas. I can never spell this word right. Bananas. There's not, how many N's are in bananas? I don't know. Bananas, rice, applesauce, and toast. There. That's food to eat when you're not feeling well, Uncle Al. He stored it for 2 years and then drank it. Okay. I wonder if he stored it with any chemicals in it. I think people are sometimes concerned about whether or not you can, when you save water, you have to treat it, or bugs are going to grow in it. Be interesting to know. Hmm. Go figure. Well, that's pretty cool. There are additives, I believe. Um, you could treat it before you store it. You could treat it after you store it. You could not treat it. You know, it's kind of up to you. I'm not. I'm not enough of a water storage expert to speak definitively on it. Thank you, RG. I am going to nominate you. Well, I say nominate, really elect. I'm sort of the dictator of this chat room. I run an authoritarian chat room. Although maybe it, yeah, I guess it's authoritarian. I mean, I do have moderators, but the moderators each have their own power. So maybe it's like a feudal system where I'm like king and like all the moderators are my lords, like doing my bidding. But I really don't tell them what to do. They're kind of free. I mean, they might rise up and try to take over the channel one day, but I hope not. Oh, tap water. Our tap water here is so nasty, so brown, got so much crap in it. Plus, who knows, what other chemicals and such is in it. Chlorine, fluoride. I mean, I think you can let the chlorine will kind of seep out naturally if you let it sit for a couple days. Usually that'll help a little with the chlorine or bleach, whatever disinfectants they have in it. Well, I mean, all cities disinfect their water in some way because they don't want, stuff growing in it or they're trying to kill us all, one or the other. And from what I understand, since they pump the water a long way and the bleach kind of or the chlorine and whatnot, it loses its effectiveness after a certain time. Sometimes, if you're a little closer to where they're putting chlorine in, sometimes might not be that great. Could be LS. Could be. You never know. They would. I feel like the powers that be would love if we just eated, you know, nachos all day, eat nachos, drank beer, and sat at home and watched TV all day. Be perfectly fine with that. Just brain dead consumers, straight out of idiocracy. Unfortunately, I feel like that's the case. I have to be active and try to do things and build things and repair things. Like I tried to fix my glider today, and it was a complete failure again. Tried to solder something this small. I don't know why I thought I could do it. Complete disaster. Replacement's only, $25 or something. It's not too bad, but very funny, Dive Bullfrog. I wouldn't say it's a great live stream. I would say it's a very mediocre live stream. But I strive for consistency. That's the important thing. Is that you have to strive for consistency. I'd love to do some more live stream stuff like it feels a little funny doing it in the forest or something, but I've been wanting to find a place that I could practice with a bow drill. And I'm getting to the point where I would just want to go to like the local park and just use a bow drill right in the grill because you can't really start a fire on the ground. But theoretically, I could use a bow drill to start a cooking fire. Oh well, of course, the headset is key. I wish I had controls for these, or I wish they blinked with the music or something cool like that. If I was, there are probably 14-year-old kids out there that have customized their headphone lights to do all sorts of crazy shit, and I'm over twice that age and can't be bothered to do anything fancy. I'm telling you, all these people who think kids these days are like dumb and lazy and just play video games all day. It's not true. They're very smart and very talented, and they're gonna take over the planet just through growing up and getting elected, through normal means. Not like they're trying to take over the planet, but they're going to. they're going to be in control of our future. So, you know, all I'm saying is you better hope they're smart because you don't want them to be a bunch of, dipwits. Maybe LS see you around. Feed the humans. You should just get a feeder. They have automatic timered feeders. You could just put cereal in them. Just get a milk dispenser and a cereal dispenser, and there you go. That's all the humans fed, 24/7. Like a just-in-time feeding system, kind of. My chat keeps blanking out. It's slightly annoying. Yeah, so boat failed, glider repair failed. I guess those are the two things I've been kind of prepping related. Haven't done a lot of firearm stuff. Haven't picked up my hunting license, although I do. I am looking to do that some point this year. Did recently eat a couple different types of game. I had some buffalo sausage, I think. Was it buffalo or bison? No, I think so. Some buffalo or bison and some pork, wild boar. Interesting. Interesting tasting. Your son, that's right, he's going off to college. Very exciting stuff. I wish him the best. I wonder what advice I would give my kid if he was going to college. Ugh. I fear for my child at college if they're anything like me. Hopefully they're not. Hopefully I can teach my kids not to be screw ups. But God, I'm gonna be oh, and I don't even have kids. I'll be like 50 years old by the time my kid goes to college. Guess that's life. But yeah, if anything, I would give advice. I mean, kids definitely need advice in college. But if I was going to give advice to the parents, I would say like your kid is shouldn't really feel like they're on their own in college. Like, yeah, you're living away from home. The kid's kind of in charge of their own deal, maybe in part their finances, even if they get a little help from their folks, they're still kind of in charge of the budgeting. But I suppose I would say to parents, like, still, still consider yourself part of their life, just in kind of a different long distance way. I think sometimes parents think like, oh, they're off on their own. I'm just going to let them do their own thing now. And doesn't always, you know, work out. Not to say you have to see them every weekend. I always kind of looked at disdain at the like this college students that like went home every weekend. Like, don't you want to like feel you're at college at all, or like not on like some college camping trip during the week or something? But who knows? Yeah, communication is key. So true, inspired. So very true. Communication is key. I kept communication with my parents all through college and such. No, wait, what's no? I'm confused now, John. Very confused. Oh, smothered. Well, I don't know. I thought you were just being, touchy feely. No, I wouldn't smother them. I mean, but I don't see why communicate is a joke. I mean, you should communicate with your kids. You know, don't just send them texts. I would. Ugh. The idea that my kids are going to want to text me is somewhat laughable. I don't know. Maybe there'll be more advanced technology. Maybe I'll have to meet them in VR. Can you imagine, like, having to buy a VR headset just to talk to your kids? Someday, you might be surprised. Someday. If anything, if you really want to troll your kids in college, just start playing video games and play the games that they play, and then start trolling them online. Just like start that. That would be really effective. Oh, he's me living at home. That's pretty chill. And honestly, I think that's kind of a good transition because college can be really hard. Depending, it doesn't really matter if you're taking a quote unquote easy degree or a hard degree. Just the amount of work, type of classes, difficulty of the classes, even classes that aren't supposed to be difficult sometimes end up being difficult for whatever reason. Maybe there's a lot of work, maybe there's a lot of group assignments, maybe the teacher's kind of weird. Who knows? Even Psych 101 could be a hard class, depending on a lot of things. So yeah, if anything, Will, I would encourage him to think about buying a house, like even maybe during college. I don't know. FHA only needs 3.5% down. So if there's something in the area, if he can get to where he's working full time, maybe not during college, but just sort of like be thinking about it earlier in his life than later because it can be such a beneficial thing to invest in real estate. I'm hoping in the next year or so I'll be able to buy a house. Should be very interesting. There are houses I can afford in my area. They're in a little bit of a rough area, depending sometimes. But yeah, it's too much paying rent. You're just too limited. I mean, I want to be able to like Washington after college. You mean or during college? Because college is local, but you're not in Washington. I can't even remember what state you live in. Will, to be honest, I feel like you moved. You used to live in Washington, then you moved somewhere else to like. It's not like Kansas or Oklahoma. It's not Arizona. I don't think Kentucky or Tennessee or something. Was it Tennessee? Nebraska. One of those states. One of those in the middle. Yeah, Nebraska. But what's up, JFM or JUFM? Something. I don't know. Not everyone's name is as easy to read. What have you been working on, Jay? Have you been prepping or just watching YouTube videos? You have to combine your energies into, you know, informational, learning stuff and more practical, doing stuff. And I have not been doing a lot of practical stuff recently because I've been sort of tired from work. But anyways, before bed, wait, are you in like a big different time zone? Like even if you're on the East Coast, it'd only be 8 o'clock, and that's not super late. Cool, Will. Very cool. If there's anything I can do to help Uncle Al, let me know. All right, brother. Hang in there, man. I know dealing with doctors and medicine is not always an easy thing. You have to get up at 3 a.m. So you're like an early morning shift. Interesting. When I first started my job, was working started at like 3:45, I think, a.m. But yeah, now I'm on the night shift. What's going on, Joe? Changing desks can be a pain. I don't know what DES is. Anyway. Yes, so boat stuff, glider stuff, prepping stuff. There is certainly plenty doctors. Certainly plenty of reasons to prep. A lot of stuff in the news recently. Maduro getting attacked by a drone. Somewhat comical, to be honest. A little bit comical. Um, yeah, poor guy. You know, he's the leader of his country, and things are a little bit rough down there, obviously, and he's probably afraid if he tries to step down, something even worse is going to happen. So he's going to hold on to the bitter end. But I I have a feeling the people of Venezuela ultimately something's going to happen. I'm not saying like he's going to get assassinated or something like that, but I think there's going to be a transition in power because things are just going to keep getting bad, and somebody or enough people with power are going to feel like we got to do something about this. A webbed belt, threading them on and off. Webbed belt. So you're putting your canteen. What do you mean a webbed belt? Like a bunch of Molly on the belt or something? Like I'm not. Maybe I'm not following exactly. Like, is this just a belt worn at belt level, or if it's like a bandolier or something you got going on? Military pistol belt. Okay, gotcha. That's cool. Yeah, I'm a little bit ignorant when it comes to belts and harnessing systems, sadly. I do need to get a holster for my C9 though, for hunting purposes. More like as a backup weapon during hunting purposes, not like a primary hunting weapon, but let's see, 44 minutes. I think we're gonna take a break pretty shortly here. Maybe, and when I say break, I mean I think we're gonna end for the evening. If you're coming in a little later, I believe our friend Dash Out is going to be live streaming around 5:30, give or take. I also want to mention again that if you look in the description, and I think I will try to post it in the chat right now. One of our prepper friends had a loss in the family, and if you'd like to um, support their family in this time of need, there's a link to a GoFundMe account for them. Or conversely, if you'd like to make a video and try to keep promoting the GoFundMe page, that would be really helpful too. Maybe even more helpful than just a one-time donation because you can spread it out and we can try to get, uh, get a little bit more attention to the campaign. Before we go, I want to know what's the one or two or three things that you're trying to get done prepping related before the year ends. What are your 2018 prepper goals? If I was going to share first, I would say get my hunting license and go hunting, save up money. Hi, Christy. Build a solar farm. That's a really good one. That's a really, really good one. What else? Range time for the XYL. Okay. Your final bag assembled, like the bug out bag? I haven't worked on mine recently, to be honest. I suppose that's because I'm sort of considering myself more bug in, but you know, maybe I should. Maybe I do need to put a cache out there. Even a couple caches could make a big difference if you really did have to get out of LA. It's just, I don't know. It would take something really big and crazy for me to have to evacuate LA, or for it to be the best option for me to evacuate LA. Because even if things are crazy but a little sporadic, I'm still probably better off trying to just stay in my apartment. I got food and water here. I can cook here. Even with the gas off, I could, improvise a stove outside or something. But if I'm just like out in the middle of nothing and all I have is my backpack, it's a lot easier to survive with all the shit in my apartment than with the backpack. You know, think of all the tools and materials and all the stuff that, you know, I mean, I got enough books to cook for a month, easy. If all I did was crumple up paper to make fire, I could probably cook enough meals for a month off the amount of paper in my apartment. Uncle Al, I mean, romance is part of a healthy life, and I think that it's good to be healthy in all ways that you can be. Whether or not you can find a mate who wants to carry your pack for you, you might have better luck with you know, a pack animal than a significant other. But you can try trailer. Trailers, hiking trailers are an option. You can tow one with a very, very low weight vertical on your hips. You might be towing 100 pounds, but you're not going to have 100 pounds pushing down on your spine. You might only have 10 pounds or 20 pounds of tongue weight, so to speak. So, um, hiking trailers are, they're out there. People make them, people design them. I don't know if you have any welding experience, Uncle Al. I'd make one for you, but I'd have to deliver it. And that would be, I'd have to drive up there. We'd have to meet halfway or something for me to deliver it. But a little bit of welding and a couple bicycle tires, you can make yourself a pretty sick hiking frame. The only thing is, it'd be a little bit wide. If you wanted to make it more narrow, you could, and it's not a terrible idea. Or somehow, I don't know if an adjustable wheelbase would work necessarily, but bicycles are very effective. And you're right. In other countries, they do use bicycles to move all sorts of stuff, everything. Heavy things you probably shouldn't move on bicycles, like 20 chickens or something. I don't know, or 40 chickens. More chickens than you would think is sensible to carry on a bicycle is how many chickens are being moved on bicycles overseas as we speak. Well, maybe they're sleeping now, but when somebody wakes up at 4 a.m. to go to the chicken market, they're throwing a bunch of chickens on their bike and bicycle, and they're biking on down to the market. Christy, you should make some updates on interesting developments in your life. You're doing some very interesting stuff right now, and I think you should share it with the world if you haven't already. What's going on, Virginia? Yeah, suitcase rolling backpack is a pretty good out of the box option. Got the carry rig covered. Okay, good. Make a video about it. Have you made a video about it, Uncle Al? I don't think you have. Or I better check. See, now I gotta go check out their. Um, Sorry, I'm just looking at Uncle Al's video list as of late. Go check out Uncle Al's channel if you haven't already. He has a lot of life experience that he tries to share as Hoople's Cats hits 300 supporters. I know socialism is on the rise, Uncle Al. I fear us conservatives are way of the past, but we'll see. We'll see if we can survive the blue wave that's happening in California right now. So not a ton of 2018 goals from what I'm seeing. You got build a solar farm, do some final bag stuff, maybe go to the range. Not bad, you know. It's kind of a there's a lot you could potentially do to become more prepared, either supplies wise, skilled wise. Cool, thank you, Christy. Um, Training wise, there's a lot of different ways to become a more prepared, a more self-sufficient individual. It's not all about getting knives and ammo and stuff like that. Just becoming in general someone more able to support themselves in the long run. Yeah, that's a really good point, Jay. I mean, I don't maybe I don't 100% agree. I do think that focus is very important. I think you can work on a couple goals at once, but definitely spreading yourself too thin is uh, is a hazard. And certain goals, I guess I would say like one big goal and then maybe a few sort of like smaller goals, because a lot of times you can't work 100% of the time on one goal all the time because you just have delays. You need a part, um, you have to figure out something, et cetera, et cetera. But yes, Germany overextended themselves. In my opinion, it's kind of crazy to think that if if Hitler had not tried to sort of take over the world, if he had just tried to extend his power a little bit and then stopped, would would that type of Germany still be around? I think it got destroyed because he just kind of overreached so far and he pissed off the Russians and the British and the Americans, and we're all like, okay, this really needs to stop. But had it just been a few countries, how would that have been different? Yeah, yeah, with a blue state, there's a lot of parallels can be drawn when you look at history. If you look at history, um, I'm not the most well read in historic things, but certainly parallels can be drawn. All right, folks. So I think I'm going to wrap it up pretty soon here because I have lots of important things to do, like fold my laundry and maybe do some dishes, maybe try to do some grocery shopping at the end of the day on a Sunday, which is a terrible time. But it was good to see a few of my longtime supporters. This is sort of like the longtime supporter hour because there's a couple maybe newer to medium subscribers, but a lot of these people I feel like kind of interacted with for a number of months. And so, stay tuned. Who knows what LA's future has in store? But there's gonna be some outdoor stuff, more sailing stuff. Maybe we'll be making some sailing land boards. Maybe there'll be some windsurfing videos. I don't know. Maybe some surfing videos. Maybe I need to buy an action cam. I might need to buy an action cam. Some hiking videos, maybe some hunting videos. I don't know. Maybe I'll build a dam and make a fish net and go fishing, and that's another license and more money. Everybody wants money from me. Everybody, every license, every time you go on a trip, every time you park somewhere, everybody wants money. Not free stuff. I mean, I can travel through the forest with my adventure pass because I bought that, so I gotta put that to use. But until next time, guys, uh, stay safe, live life to the fullest, try to support your fellow preppers when you can, and keep prepping. Take care, y'all.